Sight, hearing, touch, smell, taste are five senses. And sometimes we even have that sixth sense. Those are all important for situational awareness. And that's what we're going to talk about on Coffee with Alain this morning. Thank you for joining me. I'm here with Minnie. Appreciate everybody who joins and comments and shares. I always repeat that because I really mean it. I do appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the people listening to the podcast. Those numbers are going up. Appreciate you as well. Remember to share this and let your friends and others know about it so they can join in as well. And let's keep this community growing. Now, when it comes to situational awareness, a lot of people talk about head on a swivel. And often we only focus on sight, seeing something that's out of the ordinary, seeing a potential bad guy, seeing a potential threat. But we have to remember we have other senses, and we need to practice with those periodically to enhance those senses so they'll relay the information that we need, not only to stay safe, but to enjoy life more. Now, when it comes to sound, you may hear an oncoming vehicle or something before you see it and recognize that. You may hear gunfire in an active shooter situation, and that's the first thing to alert you that there's an emergency and you must do something. Have to get past that denial where many people hear a sound and think it's something other than what it actually is. Many reports where people thought it was firecrackers or this or that and not actual gunfire. But we need to pay attention to sound. Touch, that's important. We feel a door in a potential fire. The door is hot, we don't open the door. So touch is an important sense. And we can learn to touch better and be able to feel and identify things. Look at how a blind person relies on sound, touch, smell, and taste because they don't have their sight. We want to enhance our senses. Even if we have our sight, we want to enhance the other ones as well, because often those of us that can see, we forget about and we put the others in the background. Smell. Remember Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando near the beginning of the movie when he tells the guy, they're downwind, and he's like, you expect me to smell them? And Arnold looks at him, I did. Okay. Now, obviously, we're not necessarily going to smell bad guys sneaking up on us in the woods like an animal does. However, look at what they put in gas, the odor, so we can smell something and let us know there's a threat and a danger. So, take a moment once in a while to smell things and get used to smelling different things, good and bad. Taste, obviously, we're not going to taste a lot of threats, but if something tastes funny, maybe we don't eat that and we rely on that. And one thing we can do with taste is just experiment with different flavors and tastes to enhance our lives. Remember, we want to enjoy life safely. So sometimes enhancing our taste is to enjoy life, not necessarily for threats. One thing we never want to do is taste some drugs to see if they're good or not, like you see in all the movies. That's the most stupid thing you could ever do, is take some kind of drug and taste it. That's idiotic. So never do something like that to test if it's good or not. Going to say good morning to John. John's here, been here for a while. Appreciate you showing up and saying good morning, John. Going to say good morning to Dixon. Appreciate Dixon being here. Dixon says, do you time yourself taking airport and reassembling your firearm while blindfolded? Taking apart and reassembling your firearm while blindfolded. We used to do that in the military. Haven't done it for a long time, but we used to time ourselves doing things blindfolded. Have practiced kata or hyung in Korean, blindfolded makes it very different when you can't see what you're doing. Practicing other self-defense things blindfolded really makes it a different experience. So when you take one of your senses away, it obviously can help you focus on the senses that maybe you want to train or enhance. It's a good point, Dixon. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Vicky. Appreciate you guys being here. So this morning, I want you to think about ways that you can enhance all 5 of your senses. And sometimes we need to enhance our sight too. Sometimes we see, but we don't really see things. We look, but we miss things. So you can practice seeing things better. Just like when I was a kid, my dad would always see the animals out when we're driving, and I'm where? And he would always see them first because he had practiced, as growing up as a hunter, he had that skill to be able to see them. I finally developed that where now I see stuff often before others do. So you can practice your sight, you can practice listening, you can practice, touch, feeling. What do different textures and things feel like? And, enhance your ability to touch and gain from that sense, not just with your hands, but with your body. Your skin is your largest organ, entire body, and you can feel air. You can feel things with your feet, different things. So practice that and get in tune with it. Smell different smells that are repugnant to you or that maybe bring back fond memories. It's funny because certain smells will bring back memories from the past, good and bad. And taste. Again, we're not necessarily tasting for so many threats, but we're tasting things and experimenting with different flavors to enhance our sense of taste. So think about ways that you can incorporate this and enhance all of your senses. And that will just make you better prepared to not only be aware and detect potential threats, but to go out and enjoy a lot more that life has to offer. Jay mentions Braille. Exactly. The blind can feel the Braille and read that way. I mean, we can develop a sense of touch to that ability if you practice. John says, big part of the reason I enjoy riding my motorcycle, the smells, feeling pockets of cold air, very important to be extremely aware of everything, including dangers on the road. Great example, John. Thank you for sharing. I personally don't ride a motorcycle. I mean, I've ridden them a couple times in my life, but I don't own one. But you're very right. You can enjoy your ride better by being aware, and you definitely need to be aware of potential dangers because you're not as protected as you are maybe in a vehicle. So great example. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to sign off now, get busy with some things to do today, but I want you to maybe take a moment today and think about how you can enhance your senses to make your life better. Make it a thought-provoking Thursday when you're doing that, and we'll see you tomorrow.